and welcome back to some more Tales of the Wandering Bard. We have Chucky here, who's playing
Antonio de la Croix.
And let's quickly recap what's happened in the last session or so.
No, it's not. Let's just start a new adventure. No, it's easier.
No, let's just talk about what's been going on. So, oh god, it's too far away. I can't see things. You started in the town of Weinstein, which is over here on the map. Grabbed a boat pilot who pushed him through the wastewater bay down to Trestor. Made some interesting connections there. Heard about some rumors about various things going on, but most importantly, heard that there a lot of the iron that was being transported down to Trestor from these two places. Sorry, Finland, not Clinton, was being stopped along the way. So he headed off to Cratch to figure out what's going on with this iron, where he ran into this boisterous, self-assured fighter who claimed that he was the best warrior on the land and that he was slaying ogres. And after a series of events, ended up murdering him in his sleep. Well, not almost in his sleep. He woke up and then got murdered. Then murdered the innkeeper, and then got
that was a mistake.
Hauled off to jail.
And after a impromptu trial, they actually found out what happened. So now we have about a month to escape jail, or
you die.
Or you die. Okay. So let's see how we can do this. Give me a photo description of the cell and everything I see as I go down the dungeon.
Okay.
Especially where they put my stuff. If I see where they go, I'm guessing.
You don't have any of your stuff on you.
Yeah, only the belt and the money. Yeah.
So they took that away from you, and
as we go down the dungeon, do I see the guy that took it down? Like, are they putting it somewhere in the dungeon?
I'm thinking about that. Where would they throw your stuff?
Like, honestly, I think they saw a money pouch and a guy who's been sentenced to death. I don't think I think they'd keep it. To be like, honestly, I think that's
possibly,
what they do.
But Lady Thistle is a stern woman.
Oh,
and she will not have regard stealing anything.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to be executed, well, you know, you don't have much use for the money in the afterlife. So, what do they do with your gear? Until you die, they won't take it. They'll consolidate it in a location, and then it will go to the state. It will go to Lady Thistle.
Okay, so are they putting it somewhere in the dungeon then?
No, they don't put it in the dungeon. Let's see. 2 guards take you and Hank down towards the dungeon. The 3rd guard, who had your belt and your money pouch, is going to escort the witnesses back to the inn and then gather the rest of your belongings. So he leaves with your belt and your money pouch to the inn to go gather all the other stuff together.
Hopefully. The only thing I don't want to lose is my musical instrument. The only thing I don't want to lose.
Yeah, you can't lose your accordion.
Yeah, I can't lose my accordion, so we need to figure out where that guy's going.
Okay, so they disappear. You and Hank are brought down into the dungeons. They are located in the actual outside the manor, so you get taken out through the back of the manor down. So as I said before, there's this hill, the manor's on the top, there's a wall a little bit lower around the hill, and within the wall is the manor, and there's also a couple of other buildings like the barracks where the guards live, and this other little thing over here, and this other little thing over there. One of the other buildings in the very back, on the back side of the hill, is the dungeon, and the entrance to it is how do they do it? There's a large stone area about the size of this carpet made out of cobblestones, and a large trap door in the center of it that is hardwood reinforced with steel around the edges.
You really like your prisons to be underground.
That's where you keep people. That's the way they can't escape except for one entrance.
Okay, go on.
They lift up from the trap door, and the first guard goes down the staircase with a lantern that he had grabbed. And then you and Hank, followed by the last guard at the back. These guards have halberds, although they leave them inside the building because you can't use the halberds in the dungeon. So they just have their short swords and their daggers on them. And they lead the 2 of you down into the dungeon. It's a pretty narrow area. You head down, and it's more or less just a straight chute with cells on either side. You've got 3 cells on the right, 3 cells on the left, 1 cell at the very end. You can hear the moans of people down here, and as the bright light shines on them coming in, they all recoil from it. You don't see any other source of light down here, so you think that these people are trapped in perpetual darkness when they're in the dungeon. But you get a good view of it for the moment that you come down. 3 cells on each side, 1 at the end. There are a few people in here.
So there's no guard standing over in here?
Mm-mm. The guard grabs a key, opens a cell door. The first one on the right.
Where does the food come? Oh, gone. I'm guessing I'll find
the first cell on the right. Throw the 2 of you in there. Shut it. You notice that the cell adjacent to you has 2 people in it as well. They are both very thin, very malnourished. Their long fingernails kind of coming out. Pale faces with splotches, discolorations. One of them looks like he's had clumps of hair ripped out of his head. Across from you, the cell across from you has one man who he's fairly tall, not overly tall. He's like more or less our height, 5'10", 5'11", 6 feet, something like that. And he has quite a mass to him. He's not fat, but he's got a big frame. He's just a very stocky sort of guy. You guys get tossed in there. One of the soldiers leaves you, and the remaining guard looks back in, shakes his head at you, and says, "I hope you burn in hell for what you've done." And he locks the gate and exits. When he leaves, you guys are surrounded by perpetual darkness as the trapdoor slams shut.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is I'm gonna grope around just to figure out a very good. That was weird.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna feel around for just to get the general idea. Are there any loose stones? Where's the bunk? I want to know exactly where the key is. The rock is, sorry. I want to know exactly. Is there a food rack, like something you open up real fast so you can slide the food in?
So you feel around. The stone, the ground is made of stone. The back wall is made of stone. The left wall is made of stone. The right wall is bars that go into the next cell over. In front of you is bars. You can't quite reach the ceiling. Well, how tall are you?
I think we said tall. Like we rolled and we said tall and thin. I don't know how tall that is.
We'll figure out a height.
I don't know.
Like relative to your height, taller or shorter than you?
Taller, definitely taller.
All right, so he's gonna be 6'2". A little bit taller would be 6'2". A lot taller would be like 6'5". Okay, and thin, so 170 pounds if he's 6'2". Yeah. Okay, that's tall and thin. So if you jump, your fingers can scrape the ceiling, and you feel cold stone up there as well. Cold, wet stone. After a few minutes, you start to hear dripping of water. Occasionally, it's not frequent, but occasionally there's a bloop, bloop, as the water falls from the ceiling. The cell in front of you, or the cage in front of you, has a single door with a large locking mechanism on it. You can find it pretty easily. Uses a skeleton key, much like what you have here. Is there any other detail you wanted to know? Food trap. There are no food traps. There's no bunk either. There is a bucket of water in the cell. You sniff at the bucket. It smells fine, but as you at some point you try and drink some of it, and you can feel like moss or mold growing in and around it.
Okay, so definitely this is not something I want to drink for a long time. So we need to make our escape quite soon, because it seems like they're not feeding their people, and the more I stay here, the less chances I'll have.
The weaker you'll get.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna try and make improvised lockpick. We're gonna do that by disassembling the bucket. I'm guessing the bucket has it's like pieces of rubber tied together.
Pieces of wood with a metal band going.
Yeah, and there are nails going in through as well, just to keep them, or not. Usually there's like metal bucket and there's nails are driven to keep them in the same.
Yeah, I guess they'd be short little studded nails.
Yeah.
Like little tiny.
Perfect. So I'm taking that. I'm just completely taking that apart.
Okay, you have to bash it against the wall to break it
Oh,
apart,
yeah.
but you can do so.
Bash and then easily just taking my time with it.
So as you start bashing it, Hank goes, "What's that noise? What's happening?"
Shut up and stay there.
You hear the whisperings of the people in the cell next to you. "Hello, pretty ones. Hello. Who are you that have come into our house? Hello."
This is not a place for me. I need you to get out of here. I do not talk to anybody. I do not see anybody. Me, that's it. You get out of here. Before I go crazy.
Come here, pretty one.
I will.
Do you have any food on you?
I'll have the small nails. I'm gonna
You're a meaty one.
find the longest one. I'm gonna sharpen it a bit at the stone wall.
I can almost taste your delicious flesh. Come closer.
I just exhale and
You'll need friends if you want to survive down here.
escape. Okay, cool. No, I'm just ignoring that guy. There's no way, like, after I saw them like that, there's no way. These guys just are desperate.
You just keep telling what you do. I'll provide background sounds,
Yeah,
but you
cool.
keep going.
So I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna sharpen the nails.
How?
And against the wall, like scrape them against.
Iron is stronger than stone. You can't sharpen iron with stone.
Didn't sharpen iron and iron.
You'd need like a whetstone to sharpen
Yeah, I need a
things.
whetstone. You're right. I need a way to sharpen it.
What are those noises? Are you already clawing at the walls?
How the fuck do I sharpen this? Honestly, doesn't it?
To lose your
How
fingernails.
big is the nail?
About yay
No,
long.
like how thick is it?
Oh, they're pretty small.
Ah, perfect. You need this? 1 second. Oh, I have no. Just come here and get your own. This shower.
Move the chair for her.
Sorry. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Oh, sorry about the ass shot, chat. Okay, so is my nail like
It's
sharp enough to get inside?
It's roughly the thickness of this pencil, and lock is roughly the size of that lock. So you can go ahead and do whatever test you desire.
Oh yeah, it's definitely enough to get in.
Okay.
Let's try it. So, now, what kind of lockpick system do you have in Solom? Is this like Skyrim lockpicks? Is this like?
This is if you have a lockpicking skill, you get
Yeah.
a percentage to pick locks. The percentage is modified by the quality of the lock. If it's a bad lock, your percentage goes up. If it's a good lock, your percentage goes
I have
down.
thieves' tools, and I can use those.
You don't have them on you,
I don't have them on me.
so you don't have thieves' tools. Then.
Yeah, but my knowledge of thieves' tools,
You're a
I
professional
think grants
lockpicker?
grants me how to make like how they look, you know,
You
how
know what
what I
supposed
need.
to look like, yeah.
So what I need to actually open a lock and how to open a lock. So I'm just gonna try and make that happen. I'm gonna try and use the nails. Also, I need weapons. So at the same time, I'm going to try and chip away with the nails at the wood to make wooden darts.
Okay, you can use one of these nails to craft like a bit of like a stabby thingy, or maybe a throwy thingy. Probably not so good for throwing because the wood is lightweight and it's not going to stick in very well. There's not a lot of force behind it. But you could get a nice stabbing implement.
Well, it could be.
Wooden dagger.
Could I combine the two? Could I maybe like drive the nails in the head of it so it gains a bit more weight? So when I throw it, it sticks in. Because I have a lot of nails. Like I won't need all of them to lockpick.
So you've got there's 2 things that go around. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 16 slots of wood. The process of breaking them damaged. What is this? 16. Okay. Damage D12 of them beyond repair. So 3 of the boards are shattered and completely useless. So that leaves you with 13. Should mark this down somewhere. 13.
Your notes. That's.
13 wooden boards. And then the bottom one, which is just a circular piece of wood for the very base of the bucket. And you have, if there's 16, then you're going to have 32 little tiny nails. And you're going to have 2 iron bands.
Okay, so wooden darts. I'm guessing that the wooden darts are kind of roughly half the size of one of the pegs, like one of the stone, like the
Yeah, I
wooden
mean
things.
the dart, as you.
The dart is kind of like that's my imagination of a dart is this.
Yeah, but the bucket's about yay tall.
Yeah,
So you got these things here. You could craft them as much as possible into the darts. It'll take a while to do them because you only have like a nail to make them. So it'll take you a few hours to make each one. So
Yeah, no, that's I have plenty of time. I need to do it.
You've got nothing
Like-
but time.
So yeah, I'm gonna use my time to make these, and at the same time just work on the makeshift lockpicks as well, with 2 nails. And then I'm gonna especially try and sharpen on the iron band. Maybe I'm basically gonna try and scrape away at the iron as much as I can to make them sharp and better to use as lockpicks.
Okay. So you're working on these things for God knows how long. In the darkness, you lose all sense of time. It might have been an hour, might have been 5 hours. Who knows? It's just dark, cold, dripping. These guys saying creepy things, and it's after some amount of time. One of the men in the cage next to you starts to shriek and wail, going, I can't take that noise! What's that noise? Stop it! Stop it! And starts freaking out.
Oh, that's good actually. I didn't freak out. Yeah, I continue. I don't stop.
Okay, he starts screaming and you can hear him clawing at the walls and shaking the bars until the other one in that cell starts to peek up and says, stop it. He's gonna hurt me again. Stop it. He's gonna eat me. I swear, just stop it. He's gonna eat me.
Sacrifices need to be made. They need you. I'm not spending my life here.
Stop it. Help.
These guys are good as that. No.
Just help me.
I blank my mind on them. I just.
The shrieking goes silent. The entire prison except for your goes quiet. And then there's a blood-curdling cry from the cell next to you. No, stop! Shrieks of God knows what's happening. Hank starts freaking out and screaming and shaking the bars, being, guards, let me out! I don't belong here! I didn't do anything, please! Oh, help me, dear God, help me!
I'm just, like every time this happens, I'm like, okay, not here. I'm in my happy place, and I just detach from the world for a couple of minutes just to chill off, and then I continue on.
Okay.
Mind focused. I will go crazy if I put too much intention into it. So I'm focusing on my objective.
Okay. After a few minutes, the wailing stops in the room next to you. You keep working, and a few minutes later, Hank says, What is it? Oh my God, it's blood. And then he goes quiet too. And now it's just you, scraping.
Okay, well, there's literally no other way to get out of here besides this one, so after I finish up, how many dice do I get in the end?
Well, we'll take this time by time.
Yeah, we're taking time by time.
Let's see, you will give me 2d4.
4, 8. Nice.
Okay, so you now have 8 wooden dart-like things. You've driven nails in the backs to them to give them a little bit more weight to them, but they're still not that great for throwing. They're going to have half the range of a standard dart.
Okay, that's good. That's good with me.
5 yards is 15 feet, which is roughly like that door to the white chair.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, so that's about as far as you can throw them. Any farther than that, you start getting penalties from medium and long range. But we're stopping temporarily here. Ooh, the die rolled out to your side. We're stopping because there's a clatter and the hatch opens up. And as the hatch opens up, bright light streams down.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like all my stuff goes in the place where the bucket was, like in the corner. And I just put my back between the two, like the two sides of the corner, and just pretend to sleep there.
Okay.
But I have 2 darts behind my back.
Okay.
In my hands.
The light shines through. Down comes a guard, 2 guards. One of them carrying a lantern and a bucket of water, the other with a short sword, which is already drawn. He comes down, and the first guard shines the lantern first to the cell across from you, where you see the larger, taller, stocky man in the exact same position when you guys came in some hours ago, just standing, holding onto the bars, staring straight ahead. They shine it into your cell. Hank comes up to them immediately, throws himself on the knees and begs, "Please, please, please! I don't belong here. He did all. He did it.
How sturdy do these guards look? Like how sturdy?
They're your average citizens. They've got studded leather on, so they're normal folk. Do you have your eyes closed or open now that they're down here?
Yeah, like this.
Okay, it's a little bit open,
yeah,
but looking like they're closed. And the light shines to the cell next to you, and you see one man just like covered in blood, and you see the other guy who has had his lips.
But I'm preparing if the other guy says anything like the scraping, or if these guards look suspicious at me, I'm like,
okay,
dart throwing. Like I'm prepared for this. First,
hold on. Let me finish the description. The guy in the cell next to you, one of them is soaked in blood. The other guy has had his lips bitten off. His nose is gone from about this point down. His ears are missing. There's like rips in his face, and he is still alive and just like curled in the corner, looking at you. His face completely deformed, more clumps of hair removed from his head, and he too just has blood all in him. You're not quite sure if he's alive actually. Now that you take a look at it. He doesn't really move, and his eyes are just fixed and slightly glazed over, staring straight ahead. The blood-soaked man who did the biting and the ripping of the flesh is just pacing back and forth, kind of by himself, muttering quietly. The guards look, shake their head, and come to you. One of them with a short sword gets his short sword, what's his name? Hank is like holding onto the cells, shaking and begging. The guy bashes Hank's fingers with the short sword until he retreats, gets the blade in there, and like pokes at him to get Hank back from the cell, while the other guard goes to unlock the cell, the key, opens the door, and steps in to put a bucket of water. Okay, moment of truth. I wanna kill these guys now. I'm gonna try a rock now because we have the key. He sets the bucket down. We had it where they hit now. Turns around, starts to make an exit. Oh. Shuts the door behind him. No, as he turns around to make an exit, I'm going to raise myself. And what I'm going to do is ritually going to be like trying to hug him and just like please get me out of here. And my actual thing is going to be pickpockets. Okay, so you throw yourself at him. And to hug him and to grab the. As soon as I can see the guy with the sword, I can like back away. Okay. I have a 20%, so I don't know how well that will go. An initiative check to see if you can get to him before we get to the door, because he's already got his back to you and he's on his way. So D10 plus 3. 3. No, 4. 4 because I rolled a 1. Rolled 1. Okay. You hurl yourself at him. Pickpockets is a what percent?
20%. So do you want me to roll that?
Yeah. Why don't you roll that?
There's a 1d100.
30. No. You throw yourself at him. You grab at his belt. You get a hold of his belt, but not, or you get a hold of the keys, but you pull and they're stuck on the belt.
I draw my hand. I go back to the I really back away real fast.
The guard hurries out. The other guy with the short sword points it at you and says, "Do it again, and your execution will be a lot sooner." They lock it up and exit. You're plunged into darkness again.
Drink some of the water because I think I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah.
Nothing for Hank. I'm just. It's in my corner. Let's see if he's brave enough to come.
Well, it gets dark and you can hear the shuffling of Hank's feet coming towards you again, and you can hear him whispering, "Sir, water? Can I have some water?"
I spit.
Please, I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty.
Do I need to have a weak heart? Yeah, and I will give him some of the water.
Okay, he drinks thirstily.
I will not let him drop anything, like spill anything, like easy. Like I'm giving, like open your mouth, and easily pour in his mouth.
He curls back into his corner eventually.
Okay, we'll try that. So, okay, I'm gonna continue on finishing the scraping, and then I'm gonna make my attempt to. So, what? Daylight streamed in, so that means it's day. So I want to wait till night.
Day?
Doesn't matter which day. Fuck one of these. I'm gonna start counting from now on. Like easily in my mind, I start counting until like the seconds and the minutes and so on and the hours until I get about 6 hours. I think is 6 hours is a good amount of time to wait before I make my move. I'm thinking that maybe that's about the time that the night will be out.
So you count in your head for 6 hours.
Yeah, as I do the scraping, I kind of do the scraping in rhythm, you know. 1, 2,
Give me
3.
a willpower check.
No, I fail. It's a 9 with 8, so that's 17. Music is very appropriate.
Well, it's dungeon music. Okay. I don't know how to describe this, but you feel your grip on sanity start to slip a little bit. You can do the 6 hours of counting, but you find yourself in a dungeon, in a cell with murderers around you, people who have just eaten someone else's face off, counting in your head over and over and over and over and over. For 6 hours, you're just counting the seconds, and your mind starts to
waver,
loosen and shake.
Mm-hmm.
But you succeed in passing 6 hours of time.
Okay, and I'm gonna make my move. I'm gonna try and unlock the door.
With these picks?
Yeah, I'm not rushing. I'm easily taking my time. Just
yeah, you got
feeling,
all the time in
like
the
I'm
world.
feeling around. Like basically, if there's a taking 20 and this is the taking 20, I'm just feeling around with the picks before I do anything, just to feel the mechanism exactly. I build a clear picture in my head of what the mechanism looks like, and then I start picking and prodding very easily as to not damage the lock picks to see what moves and what doesn't move.
Dropping dice all over the place. Okay. You take your time. and it takes a long time. You're not sure how long it takes, but you definitely spend hours fiddling with this lock.
Okay.
And your tool, after, I don't want to reveal exactly how many hours, but after a few hours of fiddling with this, you find that you can't, your tool just, it won't bend, and you can't get it around the corner to actually click anything. It's just, you need a lockpick that goes straight and then bends at the end, and you thought you had whittled this enough to get enough of a curve to get it, and it won't reach. The tool is just not good enough.
Oh, there's no other way around this that I can see besides continue on fitting with the tools until I get them right.
Yeah, okay. So you go back to the grinding and the scraping.
I go back to the grinding and the scraping.
Okay. Why don't we take our first break here? It's a little early. Oh, it's way early, but that's fine. I need to do some researching some things and come back with the second part.
Hopefully getting out.
See you guys on the other side.